Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hi everybody, and happy holidays. It's time for Ask an Engineer here at the Adafruit Factory. It's me, Lady Ada. With me is Mr. Lady Ada on camera control. And as I mentioned, we're broadcasting from downtown Manhattan. In the Adafruit Factory, we do all the design, testing, manufacturing, shipping, and support of all the electronics that you know and love. And we've got an exciting show for you tonight. Last week we had the AdaBox unboxing, so you got double the news. Can't wait to jump into this jam-packed. It's like a stocking stuffer full of goodies. Even got some, it's not out yet. What's on tonight's show, Mr. Lady Ada?
On tonight's show, the code is Tomu. 10% off the Adafruit store all the way up to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomu is the code. We'll tell you why it's the code later. Might be a new product. Who knows? Could be a surprise. It supports us, an open source hardware company in New York City. Thank you for supporting us in 2018. Looking forward to 2019 together. We still haven't taken loans or venture capital. We're still in business. We're supported by you, so when you buy something, use this, save a couple bucks, and it also keeps the lights on here. Show and tell people around the world showing and sharing their projects. Back the mailbag will stop by, read your letters to us. News in the wonderful world of Python and microcontrollers. Time travel, look back at the world of hackers, makers, artists, and engineers. Some help wanted, Adafruit Jobs Board, I'm in New York City, factory footage, 3D printing, new products, we got a top secret, and we're going to answer your questions in Discord.
Yes.
That's where you
go sign up.
If you're not on Discord, go there. It's adafruit.it/Discord.
It's free.
Yeah. And
it's
we're
easy.
9,000 people strong in the community on Discord. And, of course, there's a trivia question at the end. All that and more on, you guessed it, Ask an Engineer. Okay. Pay some bills. Tomu's code. Said that.
Easy to type.
Yeah.
Kind of odd to say.
We have some free stuff in the store.
We do. I'll tell you about it. When you order $99 or more, you get a free Permaproto half-size breadboard. That's a thing up there in the corner. It's shaped and sized like a half-size breadboard, so you can take your projects from a solenoid breadboard and make them permanent. Great for installations or when your project's done. You want to move on to your next project. Okay, so it's $99 or more. And then at $149 or more, $149 or more, you get a free coaster. These coasters are designed by Boldport, and they feature one of 4 lovely characters. You've got Minerva, you've got Hans, you've got Blinka, you've got the LEDs. So one of 4 different coaster designs. You'll get a random one with your order. Collect all 4. And they're great. They come with little bumpers, and they're great for coastering. Just put your drink on them, and you can think about all your lovely Circuit Playground characters while you drink your hot coffee or cocoa or whatever. $199 or more, you get a free UPS ground shipment. If you're in the continental United States, the lower 48, you will get free UPS ground shipping. This is reliable, trackable shipping. Your package will get to you, and you'll be able to tell when it's going to show up. It's wonderful. It's a recommended shipping method, so that's free when you order a $199 or more. And then $299 or more, you'll get a free Circuit Playground Express. Circuit Playground Express is our premier development board, which you can use with microblocks, Circuit Python, code.org CS discoveries, Circuit Python, code.org CS discoveries, Circuit Python, make code, and microblocks. Okay, there's just a lot. You see why it's hard for me to remember all of them, because it works for so much stuff.
And Arduino, so it kind of does everything. Yeah, it kind of does everything.
Sorry, there's so many. It does everything. And it comes with LEDs and sensors and buttons and everything, and alligator clips, so it's really easy to use. We've got hundreds of projects that you can follow along. It's a great gift, or keep it for yourself. That's the freebies.
Okay. For shipping, check out our shipping deadlines. Next week, of course, we won't be shipping on Tuesday because it's New Year's Day. Check out, we put it on the site early and often. It's on there right now. So you can see the cutoffs.
Yeah, UPS, Postal, DHL.
And same day delivery before 11 a.m. in New York City. On checkout, if it's your zip code that's supported, you get it same day. Show and tell. People around the world sharing their projects. Lady
Yes.
Ada. We had some Adafruit peeps, and we had some other folks from the community stop in. What was on the show and tell, and what did they share?
Okay, most important, Katney showed up and showed off her new espresso machine. So she's very excited about that. So she's going to put away her Keurig, and she's going to use this espresso machine and like grind some beans, and maybe she'll Circa Pythonify it with some sensors and LEDs. That's exciting. JP showed off his project from last week's build. It's a mini keyboard that he built from Andy Clymer. He uses a Trinket M0 and Circuit Python to take key presses and control his screen. Don't forget, tomorrow JP is taking the day off this week. He's still working on electronics, but I won't be doing a video. Next week, though, it's going to be an awesome video, so check in next week. McVie showed off a really cool, he got some gifts. These are electronic advent calendars from Conrad. He got 3. He got an electronics one, so different electronic components, an Arduino one that he hasn't opened, but probably comes with an Arduino, and then maybe compatible, and then a bunch of components, like 24 days worth. An IoT one, maybe an ESP266 or something, also some parts to follow along. I just got kind of a cute idea. You know, you get like one thing to the beginning, and then each day you do one project, and then it's Christmas. It's usually chocolates, but I like that it's been extended to electronics.
Yeah.
Colin built a NeoTrellis M4 Ableton Live controller for his like Ableton DAW software control. He's going to write up a guide that'll be live soon for all you Ableton fans or Max MSP fans. Phil B showed off. He was biking home, and he found one of those original Commodore 64 monitors, like those gray ones with the knobs in the front. Like, they're actually video monitors. Interesting. I wonder if like Sony made them. They look a lot like the Sony monitors, actually the monitor monitors for like video monitoring.
Commodores?
Yeah, I remember like because I remember we had it at the lab.
You want to know who actually made?
Yeah, who actually made it? Why don't you look that up?
Yeah.
But he wanted one because he has an old computer collection, and this is like the most amazing monitor ever made. What was the part number again? The 1702?
Yeah, this is
1084.
Yeah, this is I think this is the 1084 that he had.
Yeah, it had like the connections on the front. Wow, they made a lot. Anyways, it's a cool monitor. Heavy as heck, and he found it on the street. It was waiting for him, so he adopted it. Azure is working on a lightsaber, doing some 3D printing, and it's coming along. Maybe next week there'll be some electronics in it. C. Scott came up with the C. Scott yearly update. I feel like I know all about what C. Scott's up to. Main computer died, so a little slow on projects. Got to rebuild the computer. Friend of his is writing a book about Radio Shack in the 70s and 80s from an engineer point of view, about when Tandy Leather and Radio Shack worked together or didn't work together. Sounds kind of interesting. Maybe it'll be out next year.
Yeah, and he said it was from someone who's an engineer.
He's an engineer
working
there,
which I thought it's kind of a change from a lot of the marketing books. Like Guy Kawasaki was at like Apple for like a little bit of time, and that's his thing for his entire life.
I know.
Apple innovator everywhere. I was at Apple for a period of time.
There's so many books. Remember, he actually wrote a bunch of books about angel investing, and then he disappeared.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. That's the common book that you hear. It's like, oh, I was there.
I was there, and
yeah.
I was a
and
thinker.
So it is nice to hear.
I totally saw Steve Jobs at one time. We had coffee together. Changed my life.
Yeah, but I like the idea of having, in addition to those types of books.
Well, there's the people who've been there for 30, 40 years.
Or someone who is in the engineering side during those periods, not just, the kind of the high profile VP of marketing.
Well, it's funny if they had any NDAs. I mean, I'm wondering if Radio Shack doesn't exist anymore.
I measure time by iterations of the Matrix or Radio Shack. So we're on fifth iteration of Radio Shack.
It's like Radio Shack Prime.
I think it'd be hard to.
It's like a Radio Shack Planet, like Riddick is there.
I think it'd be hard to enforce an NDA from the 70s from Radio Shack. I'm pretty sure.
I don't even know if they have the paperwork anymore.
Pretty sure everything's over.
Yeah.
I think you could talk about anything you want. We got to get these people who work there to start writing books before they die.
It's true.
If they were peaking their career at 30,
it's 70s and 80s.
Now they're in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta get typing. Go get that TRS-80 out of
get your
out of the
Coco.
closet.
Get your Commodore 64 monitor.
Get it out of the closet.
Plug it in. All right, so that's what was on.
I couldn't find who manufactured the.
They really hide it. I
Commodore.
think it was Sony.
I don't know. Someone might put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What else you got?
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Okay. All participants on the show and tell get an SE on the show and tell sticker. Email sport@adafruit.com. Did you do the lightsaber with?
Yeah, Azure had the lightsaber,
Okay.
but it's working on it, and next week maybe they'll come
Gotcha.
by with some electronics.
Okay, that's part of our Adafruit Live Series shows. No JP show this week. but one next week.
If you're lonely, you can watch any of the over 100 videos on YouTube on repeat.
Yeah. I think if you're lonely, YouTube is kind of their slogan now.
Lonely? YouTube.
Like conspiracy theory videos? That's for you. Okay, so Pike the Mailbag's going to stop by.
Okay.
This one's from Cliff. You guys are awesome for from your products, your technical support, your online training, and your customer support. I don't know of any other company that handles everything so well. That is from Cliff. Thank you
thanks,
so much,
Cliff.
Cliff. We read these to our all company State of the Fruit meeting that we do every week, and we also read these here to you. So keep sending them in. Don't forget we're on Discord. We are there. That's where we answer questions at the end of the show. So hang out there. MakeCode Minute. We have some exciting MakeCode news, not now, but very soon.
Ooh, can't talk about it.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Can't talk about it.
So if you have a Circuit Playground Express, plug it into makecode.adafruit.com. Just play around with it. There'll even be more
There'll
interesting
be
things.
really cool stuff you can do real soon.
Even more cool stuff. But JP does a MakeCode Minute every single week. So let's take a look at it.
Check in.
Yeah.
So for today's MakeCode Minute, I wanted to do something a little different. Usually I use the Circuit Playground Express with MakeCode, but if you head to maker.makecode.com, you can run the MakeCode on a whole bunch of different boards. So launch that and then pick the Trinket M0, which is what I have done today. So what I'm going to do is a similar project to our main project of the day, which is keyboard entry. So what I've done is in maker.makecode.com, under extensions, I've added the keyboard extension, and this allows me to have keyboard USB HID keyboard presses and function keys and some other things, media keys. And I'm using the input block here on touch D1 click is what it defaults to, but what you can see is I've set this to on button D0 down, it's going to type in A, and it's going to hold it, just like pressing a keyboard key, and then on button D0 up, it's going to release that key. Now, I'm also, you'll notice there's a little cool breadboard view over here. I'm also going to load up my overhead cam. There he is. So as I press one of these buttons, I'm getting key presses in this terminal view. If I press and hold, a whole bunch of A's. If I press and hold the other, I get a whole bunch of B's. So that is how you can use the Trinket M0 inside of MakeCode in order to create a little keyboard. And you can see it does this nice little diagram for you as you build it to show you one possible way that you could build your board. I am definitely hidden under the MakeCode. Hey, there I am. All right, so that is your MakeCode Minute.
Okay, and that's the MakeCode Minute every single week. Check out MakeCode at makecode.adafruit.com. The wonderful world of Python on microcontrollers. This is video highlights from this week's newsletter.
Ooh, there's so much good stuff
Happy
happening.
holidays from Adafruit. It's our holiday edition. We thanked everybody for being a reader and a subscriber. It's our fastest growing newsletter. So check out adafruitdaily.com and sign up for Python on microcontrollers. Circa Python snakes its way to Hackspace. This is an audio reactive NeoPixel mask that Sophie Wong made. That's our friend Drew on the cover.
Purple.
Yeah.
Which is the color of Circuit Python.
That's right.
So that's cool.
And Circuit Python development the interactive way with Jupyter.
Yeah, this is interesting. They actually updated this, sent some pull requests in for our Jupyter kernel. This is very interesting because, we use the REPL and Moo, which is a totally fine way to do it. But if you want, you could actually use Jupyter notebooks and have like code chunks that then execute on the Circuit Python board, and then the response comes back into your Jupyter notebook. So it's it's a different way of doing development, but if you like Jupyter notebooks, you can use it with Circuit Python. It does work. And
we also did our community outreach post 2019. As 2019 comes to a close, we like to reflect on the year, set new goals for 2019. And in the past, we said, here's what Circuit Python is all about in 2017, 2018. This year, we want to make sure your input continues to make it code plus community. And we have lots of different ways for you to let us know what features you want, what type of resources. That is not only in the newsletter, it's on blog posts, it's pretty much everywhere. Next up. This is, we're pretty happy about this. I have a video that goes along with it. Mm-hmm. This is Python-powered hardware being viewed through an AR app that we just released. So when you get an Adafruit invoice and you bought a Circuit Playground Express, a Cricut, a Hollowing, or I think Neotrellis will be on it soon, you can use this app for iOS and see this 3D model, watch videos, and go to the Learn Guides. And these are, we're starting off with our Python powered stuff. So here's a quick video that shows exactly what this is.
Hey Trevor, how are you doing?
I'm alright. Right now I'm testing out our new feature on our Adafruit AR app. Basically, our invoices now come with these QR codes, and if you scan it with the Adafruit AR app, you get a little surprise. Let me show you real quick. Alright, so you got that. That's the Hollowing Express. That is the Circa Playground Express. And this is the Cricut for Circa Playground Express. Alright, this one comes with a pretty cool feature. You hit assemble, you basically see the animation of it being assembled. If you hit play video, it plays one of our videos. And also,
say hello to Cricut, Adafruit's creative robotics platform. It's an add-on to
this
the
will take you
Circuit
right to the
Playground Express,
Cricut Learn Guide.
BBC Micro
Nice.
and Raspberry Pi.
And so that's on invoices now if you order one of those products?
It's on invoices right now.
Excellent.
Alright,
Thank you, Trevor.
thank you.
All right, thanks, Trevor.
And that's Trevor, our iOS developer. Also, we have Circuit Python on Reddit. So if you're on Reddit and you want to take a look at some of the projects, these are links and more resources. We have a wiki, all that on
You can post
r/Reddit.
projects or
Yeah.
chat with people there. We'll be checking in once in a while.
We've doubled the subscribers.
We
already.
we're still mostly on Discord if you want to chit chat, but
Yeah.
we always like to have.
Well, wherever there's communities, we like to
community
have
somewhere
a space for people.
so
They
we're
like
there.
Reddit, we're there too.
And there's some people who love Reddit. We get it. There's
Yeah.
Redditors who use Circuit Python.
This is the photo from Kent. Did a bunch of workshops
In
and more,
Chicago.
and this is a slide from it, so you could check out some of the places that Kent was at and more. It's links in the newsletter. And this is this came in from the community, and we checked this out and we posted up right away. This is Neotrellis sand demo.
Yeah, this is the sand code that we've written. I think we wrote it for one of our, maybe it was our NeoPixel wing or dot storing in. I don't remember. But somebody ported the code to the Neotrellis and used the buttons and the tap detection so you can change the color and mode, which is super sweet. So the code is up in our repo. It's also in the newsletter if you want to link to it.
It's a pretty cool stemma-connected Neotrellis dual 12-bit DAC display. I think
The
this
time
is
of flight.
Cedar Grove, I think, did this one.
Yeah,
Posted
this
up a
is
video.
C. Grover. So they made a output controller for their CV gate synthesizer using the Neotrellis as a controller. Just totally a project you can do. We're glad someone did it. I don't have something that takes a CV gate, but you got a DAC, use it.
Starting to see more projects using Raspberry Pi and Circuit Python and Python with Cricut. This person's doing a IBM Watson project with Cricut and Raspberry Pi, so we'll see more of that. It's kind of neat. This is lots of variants of the operation game using Circuit Playground Express, Circuit Python. At CCC this year, there is a talk, MicroPython, Python for microcontrollers.
Yes.
Check it out. We
I
have
think it's
links
by,
to that.
Christine.
Yep, Christine is the
who's
speaker.
in the community.
So check that out if you happen to be going to that event. This is Nina. Nina posted up. She's I think one of the people who work at Microsoft and specifically in the world of Python. And she had slides before, and there was a couple camera, iPhone, Android photos of her Circuit Python earrings. But then someone got a good photo up online where you can see them. So I put that in there.
Yes,
I thought
the
this was
Gemma NeoPixel ring coded in Circuit Python.
yeah, and then some other things in the world of Python. I thought this was neat. This is another fun
Cat detector.
Python on hardware example. It uses Raspberry Pi and some neat TensorFlow type stuff, so you can see when your pet wants to go outside. Then some Moo news, made with Moo.
Moo.
A little bit of naming collision, but that's okay. There is something from Microsoft now called Moo. It's called Project Moo.
Yeah.
And this is firmware software as a service, which is really cool. It's open source and everything, and it has something to do with devices. However, it has nothing to do with Moo. So, I put that in there just as a reference so people, okay, like there's Project Moo, and and then there's Moo. Moo, however, I was emailing with Nicholas, the lead developer, and I said, hey, did anyone see this? Has anyone done any example of turtle in Moo? Because you can use turtle if you know what turtle is.
Turtle is so weird. It's like built into every Python.
Yep.
And it's like, it's in the documentation, but it's like chapter 28, so like nobody ever gets that far. But like, yeah, there's a built-in turtle graphical drawing system with a GUI window built into Python. Like not a package, it is built into native Python.
Yeah, so you can use turtle straight up in Moo. And I did, and I was like, this is really neat. So we're going to have some more articles and more about Moo. And then this is a preview. We got permission from Nordic to do this poster, so that's the Nordic logo
Yeah.
with Circuit Python.
Python 4.
Yeah, this is our, we're going to do a poster for each one. We've done a poster for 3, poster for 1 and 2. We just didn't get time to do the posters, and I think I thought of it around 3 anyways. So
Well, we weren't like really into it. Till
yeah, and
3.
also it's like you have to make sure you get a couple versions in before you start doing posters anyways.
I think we had a cake for 2.
I think we did.
Okay, so Python
so-
4, you got a poster. Poster will be available soon.
Yeah.
Nordic said this was totally cool. They're into it. They love Circuit Python.
Yeah.
So everyone's into it.
We still have our call for translations. Check out the blog post and more. PyCon is next year. That's one of the events. All this is in awesome Circuit Python. If you want this list, we keep it updated frequently. This newsletter comes out every single week, adafruitdaily.com. And we are officially celebrating 2 years of Python on microcontrollers. Thousands of people read it every single week. Thank you so much for making this, I think, the most popular Python on hardware.
I'm calling
newsletters.
it. I think it's the most popular
Yeah.
Python on
And
hardware
that is Python on hardware.
newsletter. Sign up if you haven't.
Okay. Some help on it. Jobs.adafruit.com.
Is it the
it's
best,
back.
most popular jobs board for makers?
There's
Come
a thing.
on, come on.
Yeah, there's a theme. This week's job, feature job, is an LED engineer consultant needed for a music video shoot, Miles of
Ooh.
Lines. And this is in LA and/or San Francisco. They're looking for a custom-made mask with NeoPixels for a music video that'll be shot on 25th, 26th. Need a technician, technical engineer, consultant, wrangler to help us with the creation side of things, as well as potentially on the shoot with us. If you have skills, you can post your skills up. If you have a need for someone like this, go to jobs.adafruit.com.
I think for people who want to, if you want to get into show business, there is definitely a need for people who are interested in
Yeah.
making engineering projects for videos, photo shoots. I mean, you look at all the ads; they all have like NeoPixels and
We
sensors.
get asked every day.
Yeah,
We just can't do it.
we can't do
we're
it,
too
but you can do it.
busy. Open source hardware. We are an open source hardware company.
That's right.
And Lady Ada, we have some guides and tutorials.
We have a lot of guides.
Whoops.
Whoop.
I just broke this thing.
That's cool.
Boop.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. That was
Well,
help-
it is the best jobs board. I mean, like
that was
it's
help wanted, yeah. I don't know
it's
why I
cool.
did that. I'm trying to add this video thing over here.
there you go.
There it goes. I'm trying to add that.
Yes, we have a lot of guides. I don't remember how many, but it's like almost 1,700 guides now. Check out what's on the big board. We've got, starting with the top left, Isaac Wellish did a New Year's Eve. We got 1,689. That's really close to 1,700. I mean, I think we'll get to 1,700 maybe
Another week or so.
by next week or so.
Okay. What
Okay, so we got the New Year's Eve ball drop from Isaac Wellish, and this project is, we're gonna have a much more intense New Year's Eve ball drop project, but this one is like, look, you have a circuit playground, you have some cardboard and some twine, you can build your own.
We've got a video.
Yeah, we got an old ball, so just check out the video. Okay.
Okie dokie, what else?
So it sings Auld Lang Syne, it blinks LEDs, it starts when you shake it. We also have a NeoPixel Painter project by Mike B. So it's like you can draw on your Neo trellis just by pressing buttons to change the colors, like a light bright. Kind of fun. Press the buttons, they light up. And then if you press twice, changes the color and goes through the rainbow so you can make, green or blue. This one is just a very reddish, yellowish design, but you can draw anything you want. We got Make It Talk. That is the guide for how to have your Circuit Python project say things, like if you have a temperature and you want to say, like, the temperature is 21 degrees. We go through details of that. We actually chatted about this, I think, last week as well. And we've got the Circuit Playground Christmas tree, very basic project. It's 3D printed. You can single print or dual print, where there's like a translucent swirl in it. Pop it on your Circuit Playground Express to make a lovely little holiday tree design ornament. That's kind of what's new. The rest are from last week.
Okay.
This week, everyone was pretty chill, but it's going to be a lot of guides soon.
All right.
Don't worry.
Some New York City factory footage. Take it away, Adafruit Factory.
It's the thing to do around here, I think.
And we got a couple more things. This is
Cleaning out the selective.
this is always fun.
Yeah, this is like selective solder machines. They need a lot of upkeep. You got to clean them out because there's a lot of dross.
Yeah.
That's a technical word for it,
We
dross.
could probably just do like a 12-hour video of just
This is
Ooh,
if this is
relaxing.
like if you just love cleaning things, this is for you.
And this is the sunset. That's what the pick and place machines fall asleep to every night here at the Adafruit Factory. 3D printing, Noah and Pedro. I had a couple holiday projects, so this will be the last holiday projects of this year, besides probably New Year's Day one, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. So let's look at.
Let's make some trees.
Yeah, we got a tree, circuit playground, tree project, and then an ornament project.
Okay. Ah, that's lovely.
Okie dokie, and don't forget 3D Hangouts every single week, Wednesday with Noah and Pedro. One little bit of reminder, AdaBox shipped, and a lot of people got AdaBox for the holidays. So starting in 2019, they'll get an AdaBox every 3 months. However, we can only do so many AdaBoxes. So if you're thinking that you saw this AdaBox stuff that came out, and you're like, boy, I don't want to miss out on that, we're not going to have unlimited slots soon. So we only have a few, maybe like a few hundred left that we'll be able to make sure we ship. We get these on time to everyone. There was no Christmas meltdowns. A couple people were mean, like there was like weather in there. This like Adafruit should have known there was weather, but we can't. You ordered on like the 23rd. Like, what are you gonna do? Anyways, ordering an AdaBox for yourself or someone else is a good idea to do now because I think they're getting more and more popular.
We have fewer slots open every AdaBox than before, and there is a maximum.
And we do add more as well. So we'll see.
But we close. So if you want one, sign up soon.
Yeah. Also, if you go to your account, you can sign up for the new newsletter that comes out every single week. And we also have a version, if you don't have an Adafruit account, which is fine, adafruitdaily.com has a new product newsletter as well. Lady Ada, before we do new products, Tamu is the code.
That is correct.
And
Tamu. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that.
You missed all the hand waving. And stuff.
Yes. Well, they're not here.
Yeah.
Don't come here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's kick it off. These 4 products are exactly the same, but they're slightly different. We have 4 terminal blocks to mini USB. This is a socket mini USB. And then we have the micro USB. And then you just go through these really fast. I'll just show them because they're impossible to tell unless you have them. You have all 4 types. We have socket, plug, and we have mini and micro. So maybe you can go to the overhead when you're done through them all. Okay, so I'm focusing, yeah. There you go. Okay, so this is like a mini B socket. So yeah, you see this mini B. And then if you have a mini B plug, like this one from the other side, this plugs in. Ta-da! And it's broken out, and you get the ground shield pin as well. So that's why there's 5. Sorry, you don't get the ground pin, you get the ID pin. So you get ground, which is also shield, data minus, data plus, 5 volts, and ID. So if you're doing, on-the-go stuff. So we have mini USB, and these are great because like they're chunky, but it's like the wiring is super easy. You don't need to solder; you can just wire directly to them. So this is the socket, and this is the plug. So this is the mini B, and you can tell the mini they have a little bit of a notch up here, and then this is the micro terminal. And these are also used sometimes for on-the-go sockets, so you can use them for both. And then you get the plug type and the socket type, and in these can plug in together. You buy each one individually, and again you get ground, data minus, data plus, 5 volts, and ID pin, so you can make your own custom cables. Or sometimes you have like weird stuff you want to do with USB connectors. It's a lot easier to do it with these terminal blocks. And also you can like probe them with your oscilloscope or your multimeter. Also kind of nice. So yeah, these are some very handy micro USB terminal block breakouts and mini USB.
Okay.
Okay, we got these cute little buttons. I kept seeing these buttons on projects. They're like soft touch. They're squishy. They're 6 millimeters. They're a little tall, but they've got like a soft touch to them. Ooh, soft touch. So if you go to the overhead, I can show them. They're very tiny. So again, they're 6 millimeter, but when you touch them, they don't go down very much. But they have a soft touch. They're not very clicky. But they have a nice feel to them, and they only have 2 pads. I really got to zoom in on this because it's just so tiny. There you go. You have 2 pads, and then normally open. You press them and they connect. But yeah, it's very small, so you'll have to surface mount solder these. Not good for breadboards. And you get a pack of 10 because I figure if you're going to use these, you're going to use a lot of them. But I see them some like little mini game controllers or little mini game projects.
Okay. Next up.
Okay, wires. These wires are connected to a T-slot opto. Sorry, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the opto interrupter. So we have two versions of this sensor. We have one with wires, this one has wires, and one without wires. So maybe can you skip ahead and then show the one without wires, and we'll go back to the demo.
I was going to say, when you first look at this, you're just like, what does this do, and why would I possibly need it? But the video kind of explains it all, and so will data. So,
This is what these tend to be used for. I mean, you can use them for any kind of, something is in the way of the slot. But particularly what we got these for is they're really nice for gluing or taping onto DC motors. And when you use our encoder wheel, which we stock in the store, you can then measure the RPMs, how many ticks go by. So let me show this demo and also...
yeah, this is really handy for robotics, of course.
This is great for robotics. Okay, so let me show... a bunch of these. Let me show the one without the wire first, and then I'll show the demo. Okay, so... Okay, this is the one it's just easier to show because it's on wires. So this is an Omron EESX672. A little nicer than other optical enclosures because you're probably like, you can get these for like 10 cents. But this is what's nice about these. First off, they've got these, it's T-slot style, so it's got these nice, this nice flat area with mounting tabs. So you can attach it very solidly to the side of a motor, which I like. And then, there's these two slots. There's an LED on this side and a sensor on this side. And so when the LED shines through, if there's nothing in the way, the sensor goes off. And, if we put a PCB or something in the center, the sensor doesn't go on, it doesn't get the light and doesn't turn on. But it actually has a chip inside of it, it has some circuitry, so it's a little bit more advanced than just a simple LED and phototransistor. So there's power, L, out, and minus. So you do need to power these with 5 volts, but as long as the power is 5 volts, you can use the signal at 3 volts. It's just a pull up that you set to whatever voltage you want. And there's a nice little LED that will light up when the sensor is tripped or non-tripped. And the the L pin, you can use that if you tie it to either plus or minus, it changes the polarity. So if you want it to, if you want the output to be high when it's blocked or when it's not blocked, you can select which way you want it, basically. So it's a little bit more advanced than basic sensors. This is it. So you can see it's there's this little nub here, so I kind of taped it off a little bit to the side. And then these wheels have a little part that stick out, and then you can put these encoder wheels on them, and you can see there's, I think, 20 slots. And it's perfect. You just put this sensor, you can see it goes through, and then the LED will be it will be blocked or unblocked depending on how the wheel turns. So let me put it this way for safety, and then if I plug this in, the demo should run. Okay. So, oops, I got this upside down. Hold on. Okay, so you got it running, and it says, these motors are about 200 RPM, but if I stop them or slow them down, you'll see the RPM does update. I mean, you can update faster. My code just checks once a second. If I let it go, it'll go up to 200 RPM, and you can see that wheel spinning. And then if I rotate this, you can kind of barely see it, but that LED, it will light up when it triggers. So you can, it's tough because it's happening so fast, you can barely see it. But if you're using something that isn't rotating, 1,000 RPM, you will be able to see each tick as it goes by on the LED, which is another nice thing about these sensors. So this is really great for robotics whenever you have one of these wheels. DC motors, the side effect of having a low-cost motor.
They're dumb.
They're dumb. They're $2.
They're dumb. And I remember doing a bunch of projects where I needed to, with Cricut, and I was doing DC motors just to show DC motors, and I wanted to have I want this little trash rack, this trash pan to go down. And we had to use steppers for stuff like that, but this could allow you to do stepper-like projects with the DC motor.
Yes, you can have much more control, more precise control. Again, this is only one. It doesn't tell you the direction; it just tells you the speed. But that's still better than nothing.
It's still, you could still do more projects with this.
Yeah, and this is just
really
the code is even posted up. I think I did this in Arduino, but you can use this in Circuit Python as well.
Okay.
You do want to have a microcontroller that can read the pulses fast enough. But I like these, and I got them with wires. The wire is 1 meter long. It makes for very handy wiring. You can see it's a very nice compact wire with all the cables coming out. Or you can get it with just these solder tabs that are very easy to solder to. It's a little bit less expensive. Either one will do the job just fine.
Okay, next up.
Solenoid.
Yeah, this is another one where you can lots of different ways to do stuff with robotics, but if you got a solenoid, like save you a lot of time.
This is a chunky
This,
solenoid.
this type of movement normally is tough to do with robotics, and
This is a
so-
very long throw
Yeah.
solenoid. So, I mean, it's not like a foot, but it is like, it's like an inch or so, which is quite a bit.
Yeah.
I will say, though, the trade-off is this solenoid needs a bit of current. It needs, I think we figured out, like 1 or 2 amps. So let's maybe go to the overhead. And I've got, hold on. I've got my, of course I just dropped this thing I needed. Hold on.
I'll go back to the video.
Okay, so I got this my 5-volt, 2 amp thing going on here, and then let me try triggering this. So plug that in. Chunk, chunk, chunk. So it has quite a bit of throw. You do need to have a pretty strong transistor. I'm not actually sure you will be able to power this with a ULN, because those are 500 milliamps, and this really does want like 1 amp at 5 volts. And it's, it runs at 5 volts. It's not incredibly fast and powerful at 5 volts. It's a 6-volt driver, but you can run it at 6, 7 or 8 or 9 volts, and they'll be fine. But it's a nice chunky solenoid, and it has that nice long throw, and it's a push-pull. And I wanted to have another alternative. We have a teeny 5-volt solenoid, but the throw is only, I think, like 5 or 6 millimeters. So this is a much longer throw when you really need something to go much further. So there you go. Now I have a solenoid.
Okay.
Chunky.
Next up, we still have more. We got more particle stuff in.
Nonstop. Okay, so now we have, this is the particle 2G, 3G mesh pack. This is a starter pack, and it comes with 2 xenons, and those are the nRF52840 mesh Bluetooth network, and then it has 1 gateway particle, the one in the center, which is like chunkier, and that one is, or the one on the right, and that's the boron 2G, 3G, so it's a cellular module attached to the nRF52840. So you have that Bluetooth mesh or Bluetooth low energy capability, plus it can act as a gateway to take your Bluetooth mesh data from the particle board, the lower cost ones, and upload it to the cellular network to the particle cloud. So if you have stuff somewhere where you don't have Wi-Fi, or the Wi-Fi is inconsistent, or you just, you think the password is going to change and you want cellular, cellular works a lot of places, this pack kind of gets you started with everything you need. You got 3 breadboards, USB cables, comes with a tripler, and of course a battery. You'll need a battery for the cellular module, even if you have it plugged into USB. Those cell modules really need a huge burst of power that only a LiPo can really provide. USB doesn't provide as well as a debugger programming a couple of parts. So this is good if you're interested in doing cellular mesh network particle stuff. And of course, all these are Feather compatible. We'll be getting more of them in the store as they come in to stock. They're really, you can tell that we're getting a little bit every week. We placed a big order, and they come in little shipments. And as soon as we get them, we put them in. So this one is for 2G, 3G. If you need the LTE bundle, hold up. Maybe next week we'll get the LTE bundle. But this one, if you have a 2G or 3G network for your cellular needs, this will work quite well.
Okay, next up.
JP requested this. It's pretty simple. It's a stereo audio jack with a little knurled nut. You can panel mount it, and it's got this tab sticking out, so it's breadboard compatible. I will say it's vertical style. We have a horizontal style. The tabs aren't super long. It does work in a breadboard, but especially if you have this long cable sticking out, it can yank it out a little bit. So this is best used for perf boards and solderable breadboards. It does work in a solderless one. It's not great for it, but it does work. So you just plug it in, and you get ground, left, right. Perfect for your audio project. You want to take a stereo jack and plug it in, but you want it to come in vertically.
And next up, if you like the handsome Anthony from Apple, you'll like this. It's a circle.
It's this white circle. We have the white circle, and we have white rectangle.
We're selling quarters.
Can you show them the white rectangle? Look at this white
We're
rectangle.
selling rectangles
and circles. We got both.
It's the new, if you like apple cinnamon toast, you'll like
Okay.
Okay.
It's that time of the new product video.
So we have circles in and rectangles. What are these? They
Okay.
have to do something. We're not just selling circles and rectangles, are we?
Yeah, we are. I mean, like, look at this. Like, it's so white
Commemorative
and clean,
coins.
and it's just the UI is just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing like that Microsoft Oval,
the-
which was terrible.
It's the iPhone 11.
No,
Okay,
these are NTAG.
what are these?
These are NTAG 203
Okay.
little mini tags, and
What do they do?
what do they do? Well, they actually don't do anything until you have an RFID board that can read NTAG, which is kind of the standard.
All right, I'm going to go to the overhead.
Yeah, I'll show you. So this is a quarter size tag. It's a nice round tag, and you've got the large, business card size tag. I'll say the business card tag has a bigger antenna, and we actually have a video where we dissolved one of these, so you can see the antenna is like huge. And with this one, the antenna isn't as big, so use this if you're space constrained. Maybe you want like an RFID project that doesn't have the tag is embedded, but you don't want it to be too big. And this one, of course, will get you better range, so that's kind of nice if you have something that you want it to work, even if it's not right up against the reader. And these both contain an NTAG 203, and the NTAG 203 is kind of the next generation. We've had the MyFair Classics for a while that work with the PN532 and other RFID readers, but modern phones don't use them anymore. Licensing, who knows why. Basically, everyone decided to go to NTAG, which is a license-free method of doing RFID and NFC. So you're going to have a bunch of different shapes and sizes. They have 144 bytes of memory, so you can write a URL. When you touch it to a phone, it goes to that URL, and you can have NFC-based stuff or data transfer. So I'll give it a couple more shapes of these. Wonderful. We started with the wonderful round white and wonderful white rectangle, but we'll have other exotic colors and shapes coming your way for all your NTAG needs. These do work with the PN532, but MyFair Classic does as well, and it's a little bit less expensive.
All right. Speaking of tiny electronics, and the code tonight was Tomo.
And this is the code.
Yeah.
Tomu. This is by Sean Cross. Is the project that he put on crowdfunding at Crowd Supply. It is a small EFM32 Gecko processor, 2 little LEDs, and 4 tabs on the bottom for USB port. You can see a little USB connector, and 2 capacitive touch buttons, and it comes in a little plastic case as well, which I can show off. It's a little development board, has a USB bootloader. It's kind of fun. It's like, a little dev board that you can stick in your computer. It comes like this. Let me open this up. And it's open source, it's freely hackable. It's kind of sort of designed to be a U2F, a two-factor authentication dongle, but you don't have to use it for that. You can use it for anything. And yeah, you can touch this pad here, touch this pad there for 2 inputs. There's 2 LEDs embedded in it. And then when you stick it in these USB pads, connect to the microcontroller, and you can program it. And there's a free tool chain. These are kind of fun to hack. It's very minimalist, but if you just want a little microcontroller, it's smaller than the Trinket. It's possible. This is what we've got for you. And there's actually a new Kickstarter, a crowdfunding campaign on Crowd Supply by Sean for the FOMU, which is the FPGA version of this, and we'll carry that as soon as that's available. That's not this. This is the EFM32 Gecko chip.
Okay.
I love that board.
Almost there.
This one's easy. This one's we have an assembled version of the BMP280. Some people have projects where they or kits where they don't want to solder the headers on. We will solder the headers on for you. Works just like the non-soldered one, but it's fully assembled.
Okay, this is almost in the store. This is a preview. This is
Coming soon. So here's the thing.
Grand Central.
It's not out yet.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Mega shaped.
It's mega shaped.
For people like 3D printers and just giant chips with tons of.
Maybe you just
pins.
want a lot of chips. This is the first. I think the Due has been discontinued for the most part. This is the Cortex M4. If you want this, sign up, because that'll help us know how many to make. It's not out yet.
Yeah.
It will be soon. But for now, please sign up, and as soon as it's available, you'll be notified.
Getting closer. And then
Getting closer.
This is sign up. This is about to go in the store.
This is really about to go. We actually were about to put it in, and then we found a little bug in the bootloader, and we wanted to fix it. Just coincidentally, that's how it always works out. You always find a bootloader bug like the hour before you put it in the store. Because I was just doing a bunch more like last-minute testing, and we just bumped into it. It's our Feather-compatible NRF52 840 native USB. It runs Circuit Python.
Hence
it
that
runs
poster.
Hence the poster. It's wonderful. We're going to reprogram the boards and we'll get them in the store for you. We'll probably talk about this a lot more next week when we have it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be one of our more popular products.
Well, this is why we want to get it right.
2019, yeah.
I want to get this right. I
everyone's
don't
gonna
want to
use this.
release it. And the bootloader is really important because if the bootloader is good, you can use it forever. And if the bootloader has a bug in it, it can really hamper people's developments. That's why I wanted to do a good job. So this is coming soon as well. But I promise you, very, very close.
Okay, and with that, those new products.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, let's do new product recap. You ready?
Yep. We've got 4 USB to terminal block adapters, mini socket. We got the mini plug. We've got the micro plug and the micro socket. So basically, micro USB or mini USB to terminal block. You get ground, D minus, D plus, power, and that ID pin. No soldering required. Never solder. We've got these soft touch 6mm buttons. They're so soft and squishy. I've seen these on some projects. They're nice, 2 tabs. Surface mount, you get 10 pack. Okay, you get your photo opto interrupter. There's a T-slot from Emeron. We got these with cable without, shown here with a DC motor and an encoder wheel. Really perfect for doing RPM calculations, or if you want to detect when something goes in between the slot. We like these because they have these big mounting tabs. Again, with cable, without. We got a chonker of a 5-volt solenoid. This is a 6-volt solenoid, but it runs at 5 volts. It takes like 1 to 2 amps though. So like really, you need a good strong driver for this. But it's got an almost 1-inch throw. The particle boron 2G, 3G starter kit comes with 2 mesh nRF52840 Bluetooth dev boards, the Xenon, 1 tripler, the boron 2G or 3G cellular module that can act as a gateway to the mesh network, battery, breadboard, USB cable, some sensors, antenna. It's perfect for making a 2G or 3G cellular network for your particle mesh Bluetooth boards and get that data to the internet. This vertical stereo jack can plug into a solderless breadboard, but it works best with a soldered breadboard or perf board. It's vertical, you plug in your stereo 3.5mm and you get ground left and right. This white circle is so exciting. Inside of it is an NTAG 203. It's an RFID NFC tag with 144 bytes of memory. Works with all modern phones. Don't like circles? We have a rectangle. Rectangle goes great with pretty much any fashion accessory you want. Also has an NTAG 203 inside of it, 144 bytes of memory. Works great with pretty much any modern RFID or NFC reader. The Tomu from Sean Cross is a little computer that fits in your USB port, has 2 capacitive touchpads, 2 LEDs, features the EFM32 Gecko processor from Scilabs, comes with a USB bootloader. It's meant to be a 2-factor authentication dongle, but it's fully open source, fully reprogrammable. You can do anything you want with it. Make any kind of USB to 2 LEDs or 2 capacitive touch button interface, and it doesn't stick too far out of your computer port. So if you have a spare USB A port, shove that in there and program this Tomu. The BMP 280s are popular temperature barometric pressure sensor from Bosch Breakout. Now comes with headers, pre-soldered on, so you don't have to do that. Coming soon. The Grand Central, you've been waiting, we've also been waiting. It'll come soon. Sign up at the page and we'll know how many to make. Also coming soon, the nRF52 840 Feather. Last minute adjustments, we'll get this into the store soon. Also sign up. We will notify you as soon as this native Bluetooth low energy capable Circa Python friendly board is in the shop.
Okay. Let's recap. All right. Don't forget, code is Tomu, and head over to Discord where you want to. That's where you want to ask questions.
Yeah.
For the person who said, "Are you watching Ask an Engineer? Are you asking Ask an Engineer?"
Yeah.
Well, you have to go to Discord and ask your questions. That is where you want to go.
That's the Discord. Go to the Discord.
That's right.
There.
Okay.
Live
we have a
broadcast
top
chat.
secret you
Yeah.
wanted to show.
Yeah, go fast.
All right, and then we'll do some questions and give away something.
Yeah, this is fun. I was just working on this. It's a Raspberry Pi bonnet with a LoRa radio and antenna, OLED and 3 buttons. We got that teeny LoRa library that we ported over from Arduino. Somebody wrote some Arduino code. We ported it from C to Python. It works great, and it makes for a perfect, Pi 0 LoRa transmitter. Great for, you have a little LoRa, you want to transmit data from your Raspberry Pi to a computer. It can also, of course, act as a Wi-Fi to LoRa single-channel gateway if you wanted to. But I like the OLED and the display, and that, it's not assembled here, but pretend it's assembled.
Okay. Back in the vault. All right. I'm gonna have some questions that were ready to go, and we'll also answer the questions that
I'm ready.
are in Discord. Okay.
Throw me.
Yeah. So first up, if it's possible, would we sell the NRF 52840 modules standalone?
We might, but they would still come bare. You'd have to reprogram them.
Yeah. Okay. People are liking the Mega. They have projects like robot
Sign
cars and
up.
Yeah,
Sign up.
Mega.
You got to sign up because that's how many PCBs we'll know to order. It's like if we only get 3 sign-ups, it's like, well, it'll only make 3.
Is Circuit Playground supported on ESP32? And I'll add a follow-up question. What if you want to use Circuit Python with an ESP32? What's the best way to
The
do it?
ESP32, we don't have Circuit Python for it. In fact, we're going to be ending Circuit Python support for ESP 8266 starting with 4.0 because experience is just in the Circuit Python experience. We want native USB. That's why we've been doing projects and publishing how to use an ESP32 or 8266 as a Wi-Fi coprocessor, which works really well because then you get all the great peripherals and speed of like an M4, which is a SAMD51, and then the Wi-Fi is done by another chip. And I've actually noticed this is becoming very popular. People using ESP32 as a coprocessor, like the Particle Argon. It's an NRF22840 with USB native.
Yeah.
In this
that's the
Cortex
question.
M4.
Let's say if you have Particles, the new ones that came out, can you use Circuit Python with this?
You can because it's an NRF22840. It's supported. However, you'll have to reprogram the bootloader. You're kind of a little bit on your own. Like Particle is not going to.
This is not going to be the lead story.
This isn't going to be.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose the Particle Cloud. You may lose any authentication bits that you need to get to the cloud.
Yeah.
However, if you want to just use it as a dev board, of course you can. We don't think that's what the Particles are great for. We think they're great for using with their mesh network and their gateways. That said, it is a dev board. You can reprogram it and do something cool with it, and you can try using it with Circuit Python.
Yeah, and that's just we looked around and it's really hard to get stuff with a good user experience for the 8266 and the 32. It's tough. So we wanted to have something so you get all the goodness with Circuit Python and you get the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connectivity. So that's why we added that way. Okay.
I think that's the best way to do it. I mean, the Wi-Fi chips, they can. It's just tough. There's no real. I mean, even Linux computers, they have a separate Wi-Fi chip.
Yeah.
They don't embed it.
Yeah, we don't do ETAs on stuff, but the 840 will be out really soon. We're testing them right now. That one we can tell you a little bit. It should be. There'll be some in the store in the next week, I guess.
I think it should be in the next week, unless we find some other bugs.
And then the retail price of the Mega, or we're calling it Grand Central.
Not out yet.
It's not out yet, but I can tell you it won't cost as much as the Mega.
It won't cost as much as the Duet.
Yeah, it won't cost as much as the Duet. Start with that.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
Mega's price has changed, but it
Yeah,
should
but
be. It should
they've
be.
changed it.
It will be a good price.
Or at least what the price of Mega used to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I saw a post from a friend on Twitter saying their app for their weather sensor is no longer supported, so they have yet another IoT paper route. What's the best thing to say? They can figure out something else with it, or where do you direct them to start?
Yeah,
well,
that's just life in the IoT land.
Here's the thing. When you choose a project or you choose something, if you can program it or change it, I know it sounds like, I just wanted a weather sensor, but at this point, this is going to happen over and over. So I think one of the things, just to give you your friend an idea, if they learn just a little bit of Python, we're going to have a very easy to use IoT weather sensor.
Yeah.
And very soon. And no matter what happens, they'll always be able to change the code and point it to any weather service they want.
That's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
these services. Every weather service out there has changed their APIs, or they've closed their APIs from being
Yeah.
free to key require, which I get. I understand that. The thing is that they changed it, so people were happy to use their free service, and then it got changed over, or the IP changed. It's just really tough.
Is the Neotrellis PCB design open source? Yes.
Yeah, it's on GitHub.
Yeah. By the way, at this point, if we didn't do something open source, I swear there would be pitchforks and they would like throw Lady Ada into the
like the pond.
to the lake to see if she burns or something.
See if she drowns.
Yeah, like we're held to such a high standard. Like within an hour of releasing something, someone's like, "You're not open source anymore." I know. It's like you hit refresh and I get up. I'm like, fine, but I'll be back. I'll be back to prove it.
Yeah, I know.
Proof link.
Proof link. All right. It's true.
Yeah. However, there are companies out there that aren't open source that say they're open source.
It's true.
You just have to look.
You just have to look.
And actually,
carefully.
you know what? Don't look.
Don't
You'll be
look.
unhappy.
Yeah.
Okay. Question: what's the main difference between the Adafruit Feather M0 Bluetooth LE and the NRF 52840?
Well, the Feather M0 Bluetooth LE has a Cortex M0 as the main processor, the 7021, and then it has this other module that it sends messages to do Bluetooth, which works okay, but actually the NR52840 is a much faster chip and does work better. This is one of those like trade-offs where it's like sometimes it's better to have something on chip. For Bluetooth, it's actually, we found it's better to be on chip because it's not a high bandwidth protocol, and so having that in chip is okay because you're not going to be spending your time like in all these other threads all the time. So the NR52840 has Bluetooth built into it, which means that you just have more control. You can do central, which you can't do on the Bluetooth LEs because we didn't have chips that could do central at the time. That was 5 years ago or 4 years ago when it first came out. So basically it has an all-in-one chip. Bluetooth is built in. It's much more powerful. It's an M4, much more memory, much more RAM. So it'll be much better. If you want to do something in Arduino, you can probably get away with either. But if you want to do Central or you want to do Circuit Python, the NR52840 is a better deal.
Okay. Does the foot pedal potentiometer have an on-off switch built in, or could one be added?
You could add one, but you'd have to
Okay.
solder it in.
And it said that this will be used with a 7-volt, 900 milliamp power supply for sewing machines.
Yeah, you might want to actually get a proper sewing machine pedal for your sewing machine.
Yeah.
If you need that.
Might be too much.
Sounds like a little more complicated what you got.
Okay. What would be the right sensor right kind of sensor for RFID or similar to measure waiting time for trucks in queue, kind of what Disney does at parks and integrate through Wi-Fi and Arduino?
Well, you have to have RFID connect, on the thing you're measuring. And you need something that does long-range RFID. So 125 kilohertz is what you want. The 35 megahertz ones we have, they're not the physical, like the physics max distance is like 4 to 10 inches. 4 inches, 10 centimeters. So if the distance you're going for is farther than 4 inches to measure, you'll have to use 125 kilohertz and use a long-range RFID reader, which is a totally different ballgame.
Is there a source for changing lighting for moon or no moon to help seeking stars? So I guess you mean if you're outside and if there's enough moonlight, it lights up something or doesn't? I'm not sure about that.
I do not know.
I've seen there's that red lighting, like, when you need to see things in the dark.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not sure about that.
I think you just go to a place without moonlight, or a time without moonlight, and a
I don't
place
know if
without.
there's a sensor that does that, though.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe... Oh, is there a spec guide for how we should design our own PCB feather wing so it works with feathers?
Yes.
If not, can we get a guide in the future? Yeah,
It's in the Feather Guide
it's in the feather guide.
called Specifications.
And we know it works because Particle use it.
Particle did it. They followed it. Other companies are using it, and they did them. Maxim also made their own feather. If you follow the guide, you can make feathers or feather wings that are compatible.
Okay. Let's give some away. What do you want to give away?
We're going to give away a Tomu.
I was going to say you should give away a Tomu.
We're going to give away a
We're gonna give away this thing.
Tomu.
All right, what are the rules?
Rules are if you won something before, you can't win again. Only one winner per my lifetime. The first person to call the phone when it appears on here and they decode the numbers. The phone will ring. It'll ring twice. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to say, ahoy, ahoy. That's how you know it's me. When I say that, turn down your computer audio because otherwise you get weird echo effects. And then tell me your name, where you're calling from, and a project you work on or you want to work on. And you'll win a free Tomu Im from Sean Cross, a fun USB microcontroller dev board, capacitive touch, LEDs, Scilabs. Some people love Scilabs chips. Never really use them myself, but they're pretty cool.
Okay. This
Call
is
us
a phone
number.
On Bitstab. You just have to type it out because it's a phone number, but it's pretty easy to do. I'll put it in the chat. But this is how you want
It's gonna ring the Radio Shack phone.
That's the phone number.
I'm gonna say ahoy ahoy. Turn on your audio. Maybe turn down your audio before you call. That'd actually be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So, tapping on the phone.
Come on.
You know, speaking of Radio Shack, this is.
Oh, hey.
Here we go.
Watch out. One ring.
Okay.
Will we get 2 rings?
I don't know.
Yep, I'm picking up.
Do it.
Ahoy, ahoy.
Oh my gosh, hello.
Oh my gosh, please turn down your audio.
I just did.
Great, thank you.
won.
What's your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling from California. My name is Chana Sammy Ben, and I'm calling from Irvine, California.
Okay, I didn't catch your name, but you're calling from Irvine, California. Congratulations, you're the winner of a Tomu. Wow, amazing.
Very cool. Very cool.
They're very cool. We love them. That's why we're camera. I'm so glad they finally came in. We ordered them like a year ago. Email support@adafruit.com and say, hi, put your name. I can't quite hear it. From Irvine, California, I won a product number 4050. What a nice number. And they will send you out one as soon as possible.
Okay, and the email is support@adafruit.com?
That is correct. You got it. SUPPORT Adafruit. Okay, so what's a project you're working on or you want to work on?
So the project I worked on is I just recently got the xenons and the borons, and I'm going to be starting to play with that in the next couple of days here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, perfect timing. Yeah, the people are trying to do a lot of particle stuff. You're going to see a lot of projects and guides coming out. That's cool. If you build something neat, maybe you build a mesh network of some sort, maybe use some feather stuff, come by Show and Tell. We'd love to see what you're up to.
We'll definitely do. And the greatest part about it is that there's so many other feather boards that can be compatible with it, so I'm looking forward to that.
And especially if you get the triplet, you just plug them right in. Okay, well, we'll have more feather wings coming out to make you happy. Meanwhile, enjoy your Tomu. Maybe build something cool with that. Maybe you can learn Scilabs. Have a wonderful holiday and a wonderful night.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, good night. All right. Congratulations. We gave away Tomu.
That's right. That was the goal. We hit the goal. Okay, well, that is the show for tonight.
We did it.
Did it. Don't forget the code is Tomu. 10% off in the Adafruit store all the way up
Including
to
Tomus.
p.m. Eastern Time, including Tomus. And as always, it supports us, an open source hardware company here in New York City. Thank you, everyone who's working in the Adafruit Slack behind the scenes. I think it's Jesse May. Thanks, Jesse May. Also, all the folks that are in the Adafruit Discord, all the community helpers, and everyone who helps folks out here. You know, Jim just mentioned something. He said you might not need a sensor. You can programmatically figure out the moon and the rise of the tides and all that with a Python package called PyEFM.
Ephemera?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ephem?
Ephem?
Yeah,
Ephem?
Ephem. And so that's kind of cool. Like, there's always a way to do it. And you know what? That's one of the things that we're going to do for this, like, new world of very high performance chips that work well and have USB, and then use 82, 66, and 32 to kind of be the
Yeah,
module
maybe I
with
should
it.
try. Maybe I'll make a moon phase
Yeah.
detector. That'd be fun.
And you can, Anyways, so that's our show. And thanks everyone helping out.
Thank you,
with
everybody.
Each people, everybody who's in the chat. Each of you taking good care of each other and being excellent to one another.
Yes, be good to each other.
Yeah, thank you for a good 2018. We're exhausted.
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. We're tired.
I'm tired.
We worked a bunch. But thank you for supporting Adafruit and a cool open source hardware company in New York City. Lady-owned company. There's no other thing like it. We appreciate it because we are only here because of all of y'all. Thanks to all the Adafruit team members, both here and remote. And we'll see everyone next week. We will have a show again. Next week it'll be January 3rd.
Second?
Second. Yeah.
Third?
Second.
Second.
Yeah, New Year's Day
First?
is first, and it's Tuesday.
Wait, it's 27th, 28th,
Yeah.
20th, 30th, 31st. For
New Year's-
second.
yeah,
Second.
Second is
Second.
Wednesday, so
Yeah.
we'll be here again. Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Here is your moment of Zener.